There's a little boy somewhere in one of Limpopo's poorest areas who goes to an underdeveloped school, a school that has one teacher that has to teach 40 students at a time, a school that's unable to provide a feeding scheme for the most vulnerable of its students. Somewhere in Pietermaritzburg, there's a qualified doctor who's in the middle of a protest. Despite being a qualified medical professional, she has been struggling to land a job. And somewhere in Soweto, there's a grandmother who sells vegetables on the side of the road. She probably does this because she needs to take care of 1 or 2 grandchildren, and her daughter's 3-year unemployment has not been helping the situation. All these different kinds of people are representative of millions of people experiencing this kind of reality in this country on a daily basis. But there is one common thing that would be better.
Now, how would you characterize South Africa's economic outlook for 2020?
South Africa's economic growth increased in the second quarter of this year by expanding by 0.8%.
Expecting for South Africa this year?
We are expecting growth of around 1.4.
And that is a better economy.
Is that all?
So I wanted to make a video where I could sit down and properly understand how well or how badly South Africa is doing on an economic level. That way we can see where we're starting off in 2026 and where we might end up by the end of this year. Welcome to Financialize. My name is Wayne Dovo and I make videos on personal finance, on business and economics. I hope you enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get to it. This is a question that I want to ask. Where are we right now, economically speaking, and where are we going? In order for us to answer this question, we need to measure the economy just to see how well it's actually doing. Now, there's different ways we can tell how well the economy is doing. We call these different ways economic indicators. And I'm going to focus on 3 in this video. These 3 will give us the best way to view how well or how badly the economy is actually doing. The first one is called gross domestic product. Now, I want to explain GDP in a different way from most people. Think of a mechanic who's fixing a car. He gets paid for that. Think of a hairdresser who gets paid to cut hair and style hair. She gets paid for that. And think of you paying your landlord a certain amount of money on a monthly basis, we call that rent, in order for him to continue to allow you to stay in his house.
Here, I brought you something. Maybe we could pay your rent with it.
All these different things are what we call economic activities. The more economic activities you have in an economy, the better. The more people buy and sell in your economy, the better. Now, what does GDP actually measure? GDP actually measures the amount of economic activity that's happening in a country in one given year. So, as of 2025, our GDP, according to the International Monetary Fund, was set at $426.38 billion worth of economic activity. If you were able to translate that into a growth rate, where you were going to compare the GDP from 2025 to that of 2024 or previous years, and compare how much we've grown, we would chop down that $400 billion number to 1.1%.
This is bad.
Especially when you consider the fact that other countries like India have really high GDP rates. It's not the fairest of comparisons because we barely have a population of 70 million, whilst India has a population of more than 8 billion people. But you see what I'm getting at with this. It could be better.
In case you haven't noticed, we're falling behind.
The next one is going to be inflation. When I was in grade 1, that was in 2008.
Damn! I'm sorry.
And I used to love Baker's biscuits, Topper's biscuits. So I used to get them and they used to cost around 5 Rand. When I got to grade 7, they cost around 7 Rand. As of 2026, they cost 14 Rand at ShopRite. That is what inflation is. It's the rate at which prices rise over time. The Reserve Bank sets the desired inflation rate to be between 3 and 6%. Wait a minute, I thought inflation was a bad thing. Well, turns out a bit of inflation is actually a good thing. See, the reason why the Reserve Bank set it between 3 to 6% is because if it is higher than that, say 9%, then the prices of everything are going to rise way too quickly for anyone's salaries to keep up. And if the prices are actually a bit too low, then the prices will drop very quickly. That, at the surface at least, seems like a really, really good thing. But it's actually not, because lower prices, weirdly enough, convince people to buy less. This happens because a person person will always be assuming the prices of whatever it is that they're looking at will continue to drop. So they'd rather hold on to their money up until the price gets to its lowest possible point. So on a national scale, especially if it's because of inflation, prices dropping actually discourages people from buying things. Okay, cool, that's fine. But what was our inflation rate in 2025? Our inflation rate in 2025, on average for the whole year, it did go up and down, but on average, it was set at 3.2%. Not bad, but it's always a good thing to watch that, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that's not something to be happy about. It is. So that's definitely something to feel hopeful about.
I did good, Meg.
Shut up.
I did good. I did good.
The unemployment rate is very, very important because it means that the more people you have with a job, the more people are going to be making money. The more people are going to be making money, the more you can collect on taxes. So, inflation rate has been set at 31.9%, and the youth unemployment rate is set at 46%. But with the inflation rate as is, it's definitely not a good thing. We definitely need to do a lot better for that, right? And unemployment is such a complicated topic. I can't even say in 5 sentences what needs to be done, but it's definitely going to be a lot. One of the big things that needs to be improved is definitely the quality of education. The better your education, the more up-to-date your education is, the higher your chances are of getting a job. But I go more and more into that in the videos that I just recommended, so check them out. That's basically the video for the day. The economy is a huge thing. It affects everyone from infants to elders, and everyone is continuously choosing to participate in the economy. We want to participate in the economy so damn much that we pay a subscription fee just to continue to participate in the economy. That subscription fee is called taxes. I made a video about taxes where I talk about the basics of taxes. I touched on income tax. I spoke about company or corporate tax. So you can definitely check that video out if you want to get a better idea about taxes. It's a pretty basic video, very short, about 4 or 5 minutes. I definitely think you'll enjoy it. And while you're at it, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you thought of this one. And I'll see you in the next one.